Welcome. Today's presentation is on access to dental care by the following: Alexis, Rufina, Brandon, Melissa, and Alan. And we got a great presentation for you today. To begin with, let's talk about community clinics. Community clinics are an innovative way to increase access to dental care for low-income families and uninsured individuals. Most clinics are run and sponsored by individual donors, charitable organizations, and/or the government. The providers in these clinics are mainly licensed dentists who want to give back to their community. They can pick a day or week, depending on their schedules, to provide services in these clinics. The clinics have been very successful in providing dental care to the disabled, older adults, and people who have fallen in the crevices of other programs. Here in Gainesville, we have the Gainesville Community Ministries, and in the neighboring city, Brooker, we have the Acorn Clinic. There is also the Southwest Clinic, which is government-sponsored and provides subsidized dental care to the entire Alachua County. Helping others can be a very rewarding experience, but you can be rewarded even more because volunteering through these programs gets you a tax deduction. Together, we can make a difference, so when you become a licensed dentist, remember to volunteer.
Our next topic deals with the financial aspects of accessing dental care. There are several types of insurance, the first being private employer-sponsored coverage, and there are several things to consider before you accept your plan. Do you have unlimited freedom to choose your own dentist, or will you be given a list? You should also consider who controls the treatment plan. Ideally, your treatment is between you and your dentist, but oftentimes the insurance companies will limit your treatment options by placing restrictions. You should also make note of your copay and premium costs to see if they are too high for your preference. Another good thing to look for is if your plan covers emergency or preventative procedures and if you're able to see a specialist. Lastly, consider the fact that most insurances do have annual limits to the number of procedures. To conclude this section, we'll talk about insurance programs through the federal government. Many of us have heard of Medicare and Medicaid. Medicaid covers low-income families with children, pregnant women, disabled, or elderly individuals, while Medicare is specifically for those over 65 or who are severely disabled. Some quick food for thought from the ADA. There was a research study conducted over 22 states that determined dental benefits cost only 2% of the entire Medicaid budget. And if we increase this by 1%, extensive benefits could be added to the current services provided. Several states have seen tremendous progress thus far by incorporating this new budget. Maybe Florida will be next. And lastly, we have the Florida Kid Care Program, which provides access to dental care for those 19 years or younger who come from families with no insurance and whose household income is 200% below the federal poverty level. Lastly, on the next slide, you'll be able to see the great difference between Medicare coverage and Medicaid coverage.
Dental therapists and advanced dental therapists. In the U.S., there are almost 6,000 areas that do not have adequate access to care. Introducing a mid-level provider could help to bridge this gap. The differences between DTs and ADTs is the level of training, scope of practice, and amount of autonomy. Both have procedures that are either indirectly or generally supervised. Indirectly requires that the dentist be in the office and authorize the procedure but not oversee or check the work. Generally does not require the dentist to be around, only that there is prior knowledge and consent. Maine, Minnesota, and some areas of Alaska have these therapists already, and 10 to 15 more states are considering it. Since this is a highly debated topic in our field, it is important to do your research and decide where you stand. In opposition, the ADA has outlined different ways to combat these issues, and states research showing that by 2035, the growth of the profession will surpass the growth of the population. To see what therapists could look like, check out Minnesota Board of Dentistry website, which outlines what it takes to become a DT or ADT and what they are and are not allowed to do.